Okay, so welcome everybody. We will begin with our session today. As you can see, this was London start, London open, and we had a one directional move in euro, taking these lows out. And let's just go to a daily chart. We have this draw marked since Monday, and that's what we are still looking for. We had this gap in between. This is the gap that caused the rejection right there. Now, what do I think would the market do moving on? Okay, I've marked this 5-minute gap even for observation purposes to see if the market really wants to go lower, which I don't think would be possible right now. Now, why do I say that? I say that because GBP has already given our targets. It was news today at London Open, and this is what GBP did. It gave all our targets as we had expected. Like that low was the last one in that list, and it was given today. So yeah, and that is why I don't think we would be seeing euro go lower, at least not now. Yeah, I do think we can go lower if we take another hit at this high, and then if the market presents something, we would be watching to see if it can go further lower. About the other markets, yeah, USD JPY, and I'm looking for some kind of a stop run. I know I marked this level. I'm not so sure if the market would want to get here, but since there has been no manipulation so far, you see from Asia also did not manipulate in any sense, and after hitting this gap, the market has been very slow. It has not been very energetic, something like that. So I do think that we would be attacking that low first, but let's see, because CAD on the other hand is very bullish overall. So I don't know how far CAD will come, and that is where we need to wait and watch. For this session, I'm clear with what I'm looking for, but I don't have a very clear narrative, honestly, for any of the markets. I need more information to build a proper narrative so far. So CHF has also not done anything so far. It's still in a range, stuck. And we had this draw which was completed yesterday only. I think it was completed. Yeah, it was completed yesterday itself. We had marked this draw right there. So that's done. This was the gap that was used for long purposes in a sense, because it was broken down, but then again the market moved above it and tapped straight into the consequent encroachment and moved on. For CHF, as far as I'm concerned, I think it would want to come a little lower, just like JPY, because it has been consolidating in a premium zone for a decent time, I would say. The whole of the PM session, Asian session, and still in London, we are still in that range. We are still in that range, so yeah. Where would I expect it to come? Somewhere here. But again, like I said, today I don't have a clear narrative yet. I still need more data for the market to show me what it really wants to do. Mm, mm, mm. I'm seeing the 1 minute chart. There's nothing which catches my eye except that low, and in fact that one as well. Same goes for the 5 minute chart. Nothing that is looking supportive overall. It should want to go lower is what I believe. And euro, like I said, see, it has pushed higher. That's why this was just an observational gap. It was not a short. And that is why clearly it was yellow. Euro may want to, may, because the way it has consolidated slowly without any stop runs. You see, there are no stop runs here. In this whole run, there are barely any stops taken. So looking at that and looking that the targets have been given right there, like first targets, I would say. I know that's not getting marked, but yeah. So since those targets have been given, I would expect some kind of a stop run, even though there's a daily fair value gap in between, I know. And that is exactly what has, in a sense, stopped me from thinking from a bullish perspective in euro. But still, looking at how GP also gave the targets and this guy also moved lower but took out these stops and then is moving ahead, I would expect somewhere that the market would take this top in the least. It would want to go there. But the most interesting part is because our overall weekly bias is bearish on euro and GBP, we would want to see how it behaves right above this high and right into that gap. See that? I think it's visible now. In fact, this gap is a much better option in my opinion. Right, so I want to see how it behaves right there, because this could be a decent shorting opportunity, and this is not iterated wise, I'm just watching. This would be a decent shorting opportunity because, you know, taking out that stop. I'm so sorry, what happened? All right, no issues. Okay, so yeah, I'm looking at that gap. That gap is also there, but my interest is in, let me zoom in a little. Yeah, that gap, small one, is right there, but my interest is more in this gap. If this gets broken, then we are definitely going for that high and that high. That's how I'm seeing it right now. Apart from that, once that is taken, that would be something that we really need to observe. And I do think we might present a good intra-session move for lower prices, taking that low out and maybe even that low. So yeah, let's see how the market behaves once it crosses that level. As for JPY, I still think it has not manipulated. But we are below the midnight open. We have some sort of a stop run. I know it's shallow, it's not very deep, but we do have a stop run, and I would mark that level out just to see if this remains protected. So that stop run has been done in a sense. So I would expect, if everything aligns, I'm not seeing, because I don't have a clear and a very strong narrative today. I would be aligning mostly on correlating the assets. If all of them align with the said narratives, that's where I'll take that one shot that needs to be taken, that wants to be taken, honestly. So right here, that low. I don't think, like, I know I marked that, but looking at the structure and the way the market is moving, it's very unlikely it would come to this low, because it's a bullish market taking support on a daily fair value gap with draws moving higher. See that, like those equal highs right now that have been formed. Right, almost equal. I know it has been slightly taken, but yeah. And that gap, see that gap right there. So this particular gap should draw the market towards it. It has my complete interest. The only thing to look for is if JPY behaves bullishly and gives us a clear setup once it hits this gap. But mark them blue because I am expecting this to be a bullish fair value gap. So yeah. Okay. Let's take a look at CAD JPY. See, CAD JPY would want to take that low. I think that looks very obvious. At least it looks to me right now. So that's what it would want to take, and I'm going to place an alert right there. Below the midnight open. See that gap? I'm not going to mark it out. It's not required that I mark that gap out. That low is important to me. So I think we have some sort of, not a very strong, still not a very strong narrative, but Definitely a good short-term intra-session rally could be expected right from here in JPY as well as Euro once we take that. So these two markets is what I'm observing right now. As for DXY, yeah, actually we did not talk about DXY. So as for DXY, I have like it's in a fucking range. I don't even want to talk about it, honestly speaking. There are targets remaining on the long term, which we had marked. I think we had marked it in the live. I don't know. I might have marked it today. Don't remember that. So yeah, we have that high, like those clean highs remaining, and in fact that high is as well. So I'm just going to leave it with a draw and not entertain intra-session moves in this market right now because because it's range bound right now, and I am not wanting to analyze it in any sense to pick a trade, that's the whole thing. So yeah, JPY and Euro have my attention today. Let's see what happens once it hits the gap. And so yeah, high not found. GBP, okay, see what to see it align with Euro in a sense, I would expect GBP to, I think it should not go above this. Now, why do I say that? Because if it can, but I don't think it should. I am expecting that level to remain intact if we are bearish, and if we are strongly bearish, I would expect that to remain intact. It should not want to go into it because Euro is almost there towards the high, and once it makes it there, GP would not have enough space, and plus it's heavily bearish, right? It's so yeah, that's why I don't want, I would expect this to remain intact. That's the whole point. Just make it a little thicker. We've already received all our discount targets, like this was below equilibrium, which we had marked yesterday itself. And yeah, see that low right there. But the overall draw in GP is still much lower. I'm looking at that low on the daily since Monday itself. So that's where it should gravitate towards. Same for Euro also. See that low. Euro has a much shorter target at the moment. But yeah, that low is the best bet. Okay. Now see, even though I was expecting that, I'm not interested in this right now. Now why? Because I just said I don't have a very strong narrative today. I mean, I can see what the market is doing, but my narrative is not very strong today. And since I don't have a very strong narrative, I am waiting for all the markets to align. And what by all the markets, what do I mean? I'm not just talking about CAD JPY and USD JPY. See, even CAD has not taken that low yet, right? So yeah, I'm still waiting on this to go lower. And yeah, so what I was saying was alignment of the market, right? So by alignment, I'm not just talking about USD JPY and CAD JPY. See, these are sister pairs. They are important, very nice. I get that. But if this narrative aligns with euro as well. Now, why would I say that? Because if euro goes higher and takes that high and presents as a setup, at the same time or in that very similar range, JPY also takes that hits that gap further lower, and CAD JPY takes that low out and presents a setup. That's a high probability trade right there. I'm not saying that we need to take all those trades, like actually we don't need to take any trades. For trade at your own risk. See, this is a disclaimer. Again, the disclaimer is running. Read the disclaimer. This is not a trade idea. I'm just simply sharing what I know and how I see the markets. That is all. So yeah, I'm waiting for CAD JPY to take that low, and if euro aligns with that, now that is one shot that I would love to take. One shot at either of the markets, not all of them obviously, because it would be pointless to do that. And most preferably it would be JPY, because well, JPY looks much smoother to me, so it has my interest, but euro has to align with that. If euro doesn't align, I'm not touching JPY. As simple as that. See CHF, see the range. I mean, you don't want to touch this. I mean, this low now, if I look at it, this low might, like it's a tricky one in CHF right now, because it's a range bound market, and I don't want to say anything that I regret later on, because I would put into action as well. I'm not just talking about things. So yeah, I think it should not be going very much lower, not even that low. If it takes that low, then I would say it would be going for that low right away. So I would like to see it remain intact, but there is nothing that I see here. By what do I mean by that? I mean, there is no PDA that I can take my eyes on, like a clear order block or a clear fair value gap or a breaker, something like that. I mean, I'm not seeing anything there to support my idea except this small 15-minute gap, which the market is still in, that could be of some interest. But let's see. So this is not to be touched today, not today at least. And as for CAD, okay, so CAD has taken that low, the first low that we marked. It has taken that low, and it could go lower, but I'm bullish on CAD. I'm looking at this target and that target, so I want to see how it behaves. Now see, this is where it gets interesting. My London approach, I build narratives of all the markets, okay, watching everything: euro, GBP, USD JPY, CAD JPY. Like mostly I align only the two markets, right? Like euro and GBP, USD JPY and CAD JPY, right? But sometimes when I want to take a very clear shot and I'm not clear on what exactly, like I don't have conviction in my narrative. So what I do is I build separate narratives and then align them. That's how I function. So USD CAD has completed my said narrative. Now if it presents a setup, in a manner where it wants to go higher, that same thing should be shown in JPY, right? And that same thing should be shown in euro as well. I mean, the same thing means euro should be willing to go short at that very time, USD JPY would be willing to go long at that very time, and and CAD USD CAD would be wanting to go higher at that very time. So this is what I'm aligning right now. DXY is still in a range. I don't want to talk about it. see very clearly. It's just waste of time right now. So I will not entertain this. Still keeping my draw higher right there. And when I talk about all these markets, like I used to do that, okay? I got trapped in this myself, like my own alignment story. I got completely trapped. I made an alignment, everything aligned, and now what I did was I took trades in all of them. I reduced the risk. Definitely, it was not like I took the same risk on every market and opened a big chunk of positions, like nothing like that. But I opened trades in all of them. So the intention behind opening the trades was I don't want to fail. Okay, that was my intention. I was like, maybe euro fails, maybe CAD will not fail, or maybe JPY will not fail. Like something would happen and JPY would work, euro would fail, something like that. I was functioning in that manner. But in time, I realized I want to take that one shot. And if I want to take that one shot, they all should align. And I take only one shot, not 10 shots, right? So, yeah, still waiting on that. You see how euro wanted to go lower, but JPY is still stuck there. CAD did push a little higher, but nothing of value. That's where you just wait. Again, this is wait. I came late, so I thought we would wait lesser. Like I would still be waiting. I was watching from the start. Like this was a good rally lower, which could have been traded, but it was pre-session, and for London pre-session, I mean it's no, I think 9:30 for me, like New York time, futures time, like Nasdaq and E-mini. 9:30 is pretty much predictable. London, well, it could be my own pain because I've gotten burnt a lot in London, like a lot, because it would manipulate and I would be like, it took my stop and went. That's how it would function. So that's what London's character was, and I could not understand that. I just could not see it. So I took a lot of losses in London, and therefore I eventually skipped London altogether. I would just trade Asia, and I would trade New York PM session, not even the AM session, because at that moment in time, at that point in my journey, that was too volatile. I could not handle it. I was like, what is this going on? I don't understand it. But then eventually, of course, with practice, with lots of backtesting, with gaining confidence in the model, in the process, in the narrative, eventually, volatility, I always like volatility became a friend. Now I look for volatility and not slow and range bound markets. See right there, that is something I am eyeing. I don't know if it would make it till there or not. This is the main one. But I do think it may want to tap that and then return. And that's what I'm interested in seeing. See, JPY is still consolidating. No movement. GP, let's take a look at GP. See, GP is also just not moving lower or not moving higher. It's just there. CAD, pretty much there only. No interesting movement so far. There you go. That's good. CAD has still not taken the low because we would have the alert if CAD took that. And great, nice. So CAD has taken the low, but Euro has not taken the high. That is something that is still misaligning. I would expect Euro to at least take that high before I engage any long ideas in JPY. Now see, this is what, just a moment actually, that low. Okay, we could see that low taken in CAD JPY. As much as I don't want it to, because this is a very clean level and there's a very good, decent, strong gap there. I would not want to see it, but I think that's where it would want to go because that very low is below equilibrium and euro has still not given us any signs of taking that high. You see how I just increased the probability of that idea there. I'm not saying it has failed yet. I'm not talking about that, but I'm simply saying if I would have just gone long right there on that gap, this is a 15-minute gap, by the way. If I would have gone long right there on the 15-minute gap, placing my stop somewhere here, this would most likely fail. And how did I make it high probability? By waiting for euro. And euro did not give me that opportunity I was looking for. Just waiting, still waiting. And see, it broke through that gap right away. Like this gap means nothing to it. And there, CAD has taken that low. Still, euro is not interested. Now see, when CAD has taken that gap, taken that low, eventually you'll want to see this gap act as support and not as resistance, right? Excuse me. You would like to see this gap act as support, as in the market moving higher, taking support on this and moving further higher. That's what we want to see, and not closing below that and rejecting it and then moving lower, right? But I think that is what might happen for now, the lower part, because euro is still not showing any interest in going higher. It's only moving lower. Okay. 330 is the is a sweet spot. Where the market moves in the direction it has to move most of the times. So we are still waiting for that window, 315 to 345. That's mostly the window. It sometimes takes us to 4. Sometimes it gets done by 250 as well, without a doubt. That's why I came in at 230. In time, I've realized that I earlier thought that the more time I spend in session looking for a trade, the more profitable I would be. And that is such a myth. That is such a myth. It just doesn't work that way. The more time you spend in a session, see, I spend, honestly speaking, like even today, I spend almost approximately 5 to 6 hours a day with the market. Okay, So when I'm saying I spend 5 to 6 hours a day with the market, that does not mean I'm spending 5 to 6 hours looking for a trade. There's a major difference there. I'm watching euro as it is ripping lower, and there is a slight shift in the narrative which could be entertained, but I'm not I'm waiting for 330 still. I'm not shifting my narrative in any sense right now, but let's see what happens till 330 approximately, and then we'll really know. See, because what I'm looking at is if euro takes that low energetically, this one right here, if it takes that low energetically before taking that high and leaves like a gap in between, there's a proper displacement right there. If that happens, then I would be willing to go long in JPY, at this point. That's the approach, but euro has not done either. It's still ranging, so I'm just going to stay put still. See, that's what I was talking about. I don't want to see that the gap being used as resistance. The consequent encroachment was hit and it rejected, right? I don't want to see that. I want to see it move, clear it completely. And see, it has closed below it, rejecting from C so far. I think it would take another jab at the low, like this low. Now changing that. It might want to take that again. And the probability of these ideas will only increase if if and only if euro presents something. Otherwise, it would be a plain session for me with no trades. Uh, Allow me a moment to light myself a cracker. Okay. I like that displacement there. It's moving good. What is cat doing? So yeah, moving higher through the gap. Yeah, that's what we wanted. That's what we want to see. And you should watch euro. Amazing. That's what I was talking about, right? I just said my narrative would shift if it displaces energetically below the low and leaves a gap. It's still not left a gap. So I am still waiting on that gap. Maybe at least on a 2 minute, not on a 1 minute chart for this idea. And definitely not a lot of rejection. Because if that happens, then see, that stop run is complete, a small stop run. I mean, it's not, this stop doesn't really matter to me, but I don't want to see it reject like it has done right now. But let's go on a 3 minute chart. Maybe the 3 minute chart won't reject. So that's what I'm looking for. What aligns really? But I want a gap right here. If we don't get a gap here, then JPY would have to wait. Or JPY, like we would have to wait. Sorry, JPY doesn't look interested in waiting, honestly. If there are thoughts running that you're missing out something, trust me or not, that's all I would say, because that is something everybody has to deal with eventually. If you don't deal with it right now, you'll have to deal with it later, but you'll have to deal with it. The market runs every day, there are sessions every day, there are new trade ideas being executed every day. It's an everyday thing. You're not missing out on anything. Still watching euro. What's GP doing, by the way? So GP is slowly dropping lower. Now see, if we just get into the conversation right now for this, right here somewhere around here, I think this was 2 o'clock open, right? This was Monday London open. So when this opened somewhere around this area of time, I decided that my draw was right there, this red line. Make it bigger, yeah, bolder. So that was the draw. Now if you look at the days in between, Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, how many shorting opportunities did we have? I mean, plenty. And in fact, I went long there and my stop was slightly off and it took my stop and then went higher. It did not take the stop in one account. That was with a slight buffer, so I just got lucky with the stop in a sense. So that one was profitable, but one account took that stop right there and then moved higher. So what was the approach? The approach was that we were looking for shorts most of the time, but I changed my move accordingly. What the market is presenting me. So I saw a long, I took it. Anyway, what I was saying was, how many shorting opportunities did we really have? And see, euro is rejecting now. Now look at that. Give me a moment. Yeah. See, it's rejecting it. I'm not saying it's not going lower or it's going higher still. I'm still watching. It's that like the candle is not even complete yet. There's still 1.5 minutes on the clock for this candle to complete. Look at 3 minutes. Has it left a gap, a proper beautiful gap continuing lower? No, it has not. One minute sure has a good gap, a decent one. But the way I'm seeing my narrative, I'm not interested in a 1 minute gap. I'm interested in seeing at least 5 minute open up a clear gap, or at least 3 minute, like something like that. In fact, even 2 minute for that matter, but none of them are showing any. Okay, 2 minute has opened a gap, no doubt, but not yet. Not yet. See, that was CAD is not supportive. It has broken lower again, and now that would mean it is not respecting the gap. And if it is not respecting that gap, I would still wait. Again, this is just waiting. I'm not getting a clear shot until I get a very clear shot. I'm not taking one. I know this was a very good setup. I could see it, but no. Yeah, so I was saying something about setups, I think. No. Saying something about I forgot. There was something I was talking about. No problem. We are still looking at euro, and euro has not left any gap in 3 minutes or 5. at least not a decent one. Yeah, I was talking about number of trades. I remembered. No, not number of trades. I was talking about time in sessions. So I used to spend looking for trades like those very 6 hours that I'm talking about tape reading now, that I mostly read the market. I just see what it's doing, getting a hang of it. Those 6 hours, 7, 8 hours, in fact, earlier, I used to spend looking for a trade and I would fail miserably. Because your perspective is very narrow. It's very narrow when you're looking for a trade. You cannot take quick decisions. You cannot think clearly. You don't have enough space to think. And especially when you're trading a 1 minute chart or a 2 minute chart, you don't have a lot of time to think. So honestly, stop thinking. I know that sounds weird, but stop thinking. Your practice will tell you where you have to enter and where you don't have to enter. Just give me a moment. I'll be back in like 20 seconds or something. Okay, so yeah. Hmm. Now see, when let this candle close, and then I think we would come back for this low at least. Once this candle closes, we'll have a better idea. And that would still not be a trade idea I would be willing to execute. I'm not interested in going long in JPY still. And no, that idea is still not in play. Like looking for that low, that's still not in play. I wanted to see a completely bearish candle and then I would have expected it to come for this low. We have not gotten that yet. But you see Euro is rejecting. In fact, okay. That would be a very hard shift in my bias. Let me see. GBP is slowly dipping lower and is not supporting Euro's energetic move. Okay. Like if GBP was a bit supportive, what about DXY? DXY has also not given that target. It has taken that high. Okay. I mean, there's a hard shift in my bias right now. If we really get something, I'm interested in going long in Euro now. See the time, 3:20. The only thing is I don't have GBP supporting it. I know DXY is supporting it, sure, in a sense, and like DXY is not actually supporting it yet. Once there's a proper structure shift and there is a gap available, then maybe I am interested, but not yet. Okay, let's see. So I've made myself clear. I think I am now shifting my bias. I'm looking for a long in euro. But not yet. And watching DXY, I would expect like it would be a better shot, like a much better shot and much cleaner shot if DXY goes up above and takes that high out and then comes back lower. See which high I'm talking about. That's the high I'm talking about. Because also what you see this run down there, this whole rally lower, right? Yeah. That was one of the lows that was there above discount and sorry, highs. That was one of the highs that was above discount, and this is the next high. So it may want to, if it shifts structure, then I think I would be okay to not wait for it. But then it has to show me what? That same thing, energy and speed. See, if I did not combine euro with other markets, not align it, and I take that trade with a stop. See, that's the 2022 model right there, right? It's very obvious. That's the gap. That's the stop run. That's the like this is the structure shift. That's a very clear shot of the 2022 model, but it lacks what? It lacks narrative. It lacks the alignment of the other markets. So that was not along, clearly. But that doesn't change my bias still. I'm still expecting a long now in euro. But only if other markets align with it. Ah, what's Saudi doing? Going lower for that low. Mm, okay. Just marking those lows out to see what it actually does there. And as for Audi, Audi would be going lower. And we are not referring Audi. I just saw it. I'm just checking out the other markets, how they are behaving, what they want to do, what's their most likely approach. Is there an alert on that? No. Let's set an alert there. Beautiful. So DXY has that high. Now Now if we get a structure shift and now if we get a setup in euro, I am very much interested. DXY I don't refer to the 1 minute chart a lot because you see it's very spotty. So I don't really refer to that, mostly 2 minute, 3 minute and anything above that. So I would be looking at 2 minute chart. Let me see what the market does here. I want to see this fail. In fact, I expect to see this fail. But now everything depends on DXY to confirm if euro would be willing to go higher or not. Because euro has still not taken those clean lows out. It may want to tap again into that. May. I'm not expecting that. I'm not saying that that's what I'm waiting for. But it may want to take that out and then move higher. GEP on the other hand is just tripping lower. And that's with counter trend ideas. In counter trend ideas, not all markets are supportive, but you have to be very sure of what you're looking for. In trending ideas, you can get, easy shots in the same direction, but many times they fail because we don't get to know where the right stop is many of the times. Like I said, JPY has not manipulated enough. I mean, I know it has taken that low and that's why I was watching it. It has taken that low in Asia, but there's no proper manipulation done yet. And that's why I think it might want to go there, or at least there. Some Asian low taken out would be the best bet for any long in JPY. Watch this gap. Watch, not buy. Watch. And this is not trading advice again. Okay. Yeah, I was on the wrong screen. Yeah, watch this gap. I know it was presented there, but that was a 5-minute chart. So this is the gap I'm watching right now, how the market behaves around it. Measuring the same with DXY. See, DXY has also not really manipulated anything today. It has taken some stops, but there has been no real manipulation today. in the sense of a long, but in sense of a short, there has been lots of manipulation. You see that? So if our idea presents here, it would be a very good, you know, a very high probability short for, let's say this low, probably like this low is very far, but yeah, I think it would want to get there, as euro would want to go higher, maybe even that one. See, I'm expecting this to fail, and it is giving every symptom that it can fail. Let's fix our eyes to euro for now, because I think we are entering that time. I'm watching DXY on the other chart, see if it shifts structure and presents a decent gap. And I'm not ready with my accounts. Okay. Okay. GBP has started gaining a bit of momentum, which is good. We want to see that. Now in this case, like if we are on the right track and if we are looking at the right things, I would expect GBP to take that out now. See, the one that I was saying should not be taken out, because the narrative has changed now. The narrative has changed, the bias has changed. So I'm looking for it to take that out now. In fact, this right there. Okay. I'm not trading GBP. Why? Because you can see very well why. I'm interested in euro. Now, what do I expect to see here? I expect maybe in the next 1, 2, 3, something like that, in some 2, 3 minutes, maybe even 5. I want to see a big candle ripping through that gap. See how it has resisted that gap right now? I want to see that. Now I want to see one candle rip right through that, with a lot of energy and speed. Something like this is a very big candle, I know, but like something of similar nature, but on a bullish side. Exactly something like that. But obviously it should sustain and not reject. Mm. Waiting for DXY to show me a shift in structure and speed. This candle should be ripping lower, most likely. But I don't read DXY in 1 minute, so I'm not gonna do that now unnecessarily. Waiting for this to rip through that, and we're gonna stick with euro because I do believe euro is ready, and there's a disclaimer running. Please do read that. This is not a trading advice. I'm not a registered financial advisor. Now, see, if you look at JPY, which I will not be shifting the chart right now because I'm still watching euro. If you watch JPY, JPY is failing the long trade. It has not yet failed, of course, but it is failing. It's moving lower slowly. I don't know since how long my mic was off. Shit. Great. I realized that just now, and I have zero idea how long my mic was off. Well, it is what it is. I was talking all this time. See, that's exactly what I was talking about actually just now. I was just saying that you put in effort, you put in time, and then it doesn't pan out, right? And that hurts. That's a natural human feeling, but you have to get above that, especially in trading, because it's a game of probabilities. So see, what happened there was I was talking about this and my mic was off, right? So I was talking, I don't know for how long, and it was all silent, obviously, on the live. Uh, and that would be counted as, in general, a waste of effort for a silly mistake. You could say it like that. But that's exactly how we should not be thinking. That's how I've realized that I've learned most of this the hard way, and I think that is the way most of us learn, the hard way. So even if this fails, that doesn't mean my session failed or I failed or I don't know what I'm doing. It's simply a failure. As simple as that. It's simply a failed trade. I mean, not even. Okay, I think there's some issue with my mic. It's switching off automatically. Again, I don't know how much. Okay. Well, all right, I'll actually end this live stream because there's some issue with my mic and it is switching off every now and then. And yeah, so That would be it for today. Thank you for watching. We'll discuss about this in the AM session New York. See you there. Bye bye. Thank you for watching.